The unspoken promise of modern society has always been that through hard work and constant economic growth, more and more people would share in life's bounties, until one day the world will work for everyone. Indeed, modern society has produced remarkable human achievements. Recently, however, it has become clear that the way we are living in the modern world is having a catastrophic impact on our finite planetary home. It turns out we're not only running out of resources, we're running out of time, approaching global tipping points, after which the decline of our natural life support systems might well become irreversible. Yet, this moment in time could mark the greatest turning point in history. A new future is within our grasp. Experts say we already have everything we need to address our problems and set ourselves on a path toward a just, sustainable, and fulfilling world for all. What is missing, they say, is the sense of urgency and the popular will to get it done. Working to ignite this urgency and inspire the popular will is an unlikely partnership between people of the modern world and indigenous people of the Amazon rainforest. This is where the Pachamama Alliance began, with the Achuar people of Ecuador, an ancient dream culture still living in harmony with their ancestral land, nearly 2 million acres of pristine tropical rainforest. In the late 1980s, the Achuar elders and shamans began having dreams and visions that a grave threat was coming to their people. The Achuar soon realized what that threat was, as they began to see what contact with the outside world and its thirst for oil was doing to the land and cultures of their indigenous neighbors. And so, the Achuar made a bold move. They reached out to create a partnership with the very world that was threatening to destroy them. In 1995, a call issued forth from the heart of the natural world that was heard thousands of miles away by a small group of people in the modern world. In the summer of that year, in a remote village in the rainforest, these two worlds came together, and the Pachamama Alliance was born. Since that time, this partnership has flourished. With financial and organizational support from the Pachamama Alliance and its foundation in Ecuador, the Achuar have gained skills that enable them to protect their land and culture, as well as assert their legal and collective rights at the national and international levels. They have established their own aviation company to service the Achuar-owned and operated Kapawi Eco Lodge. Through the Jungle Mamas program, Achuar women and men are addressing birthing practices, family planning, and the health of their communities. The Pachamama Alliance now works with all the Achuar's indigenous neighbors in Ecuador, as well as with indigenous groups in the neighboring border countries of Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, and Brazil, helping to protect tens of millions of acres of pristine tropical rainforest. As an example of how this partnership is working, this territory in Ecuador, where the Pachamama Alliance began its work, was first slated for oil development in 1992. But because of the strength of this partnership, what could well have looked like this, today remains a priceless global treasure, still untouched, roadless, and pristine. And to ensure that natural systems everywhere remain protected, the Pachamama Alliance is playing a key role in advancing the revolutionary concept that nature has fundamental legal rights.
El Ecuador es el primer país en el mundo en reconocer los derechos de la naturaleza en su constitución. El reconocer los derechos de la naturaleza significa tratar a la naturaleza como un alien a quien proteger y no como un algo que se destruye, que se explota.
The next step for the rights of nature is going global. And so we're getting calls from Nepal and Mexico and Canada, places across the globe, who heard about what happened in Ecuador. Without the Pachamama Alliance's involvement, it would not have happened in Ecuador. And now they're leading the way towards this global alliance.
Today, the Pachamama Alliance is recognized as one of the most effective organizations partnering with indigenous people in all of Latin America.
From the very beginning, our Indigenous partners told us that it was really, really great that we were working with them in the Amazon shoulder to shoulder. But that was only half the battle. They told us that if we really wanted to protect their lands permanently, we would need to go to work in our part of the world. And as they put it, we would need to change the dream of the North, the dream of the modern world. A dream rooted in consumption and acquisition, without any regard to the consequences to the natural world or even our own future.
Out of our work with them, we came to see that we in the modern world truly are in some kind of a trance, living a dream that's threatening not only the rainforest and their way of life, but the health and well-being of the entire planet.
So in response to the request that came from its Indigenous partners, the Pachamama Alliance launched the Awakening the Dreamer, Changing the Dream Symposium, an interactive educational experience whose mission is to bring forth a new dream, an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just human presence on this planet. Using powerful video modules featuring some of the world's most respected thinkers, the latest in-depth information about the world situation, and dynamic group interactions, the symposium is having a profound impact on people's lives, inspiring them to become agents of change in their communities.
Everywhere I go, people come up to me, often with tears in their eyes, and tell me about how the Awakening the Dreamer program has transformed their lives. There's a magic in the Awakening the Dreamer program that inspires and empowers and engages people like nothing I've ever seen anywhere before.
What we've seen in the past 5 years is a phenomenal response to the symposium. It keeps spreading around the world as people who've experienced it are moved to share it with others. This growing network of thousands of volunteer presenters is now in more than 50 countries on 6 continents, presenting the symposium in at least 9 languages.
Wherever you live, the message is universal, and people respond to it the same way. I'm so excited what this message can mean for China.
Young people have adapted the message of the symposium to what they call a wake-up, and are offering it at schools, colleges, and youth conferences around the world.
What I love about the wake-up experience is seeing young people go from apathy and depression to hope and inspired action in 3 hours. And in these urgent times, we have to step up. We're the ones we've been waiting for, and you know what? We're not waiting anymore.
The impact of the Awakening the Dreamer program is being felt around the world. However, the urgency of our current global situation makes it clear something more needs to be done. Experts say we have the technology and know-how to change our disastrous course, but the window of opportunity to turn things around is rapidly closing. It will take the power of massive popular will to move us in a new direction. To generate that will, the Pachamama Alliance has partnered with the largest independent advertising agency network in the world to create a global media, communications, and commitment campaign called 4 Years Go. Using person-to-person communication and the latest media technology, the goal of 4 Years Go is to galvanize the global commitment by the end of 2014 that has us moving away from peril and toward a just and sustainable world for all.
Now we are adapting the message and using the digital tools at our disposal, web and mobile video, social networking, web-based seminars, and traditional mass media, such that we can reach not just millions, but hundreds of millions of people, so that we can really make changing the dream possible.
And it's become clear to me that we're working on nothing less than the sustainability of life itself. And that moves me to my core, that that's ultimately what the Pachamama Alliance is, not out of some arrogance, but out of the profound humility of being alive at a time when we can live the most meaningful lives any generation of humankind has ever lived.
The Pachamama Alliance is working to preserve the land and culture of Indigenous people. influencing policymakers globally, and educating and inspiring people everywhere to change the dream of the modern world. The call that came from the heart of the rainforest is now being heard throughout the world. It is a call for all of us to become the pivotal generation that turns humanity in a new direction, toward the world that has been the dream of all who came before and will be our gift to every generation yet to be. An environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just human presence on this planet.
This is Mother Earth, and I approve this message.